did you see as the biggest difference in that first quarter when the Clippers jumped out to that 22-point lead?
Yeah, I mean, they came out really hot. We had some good looks. We weren't going down. I think we turned the ball over a few times during that stretch. But obviously, they just jumped on us early. And we'll have to go back to the tape and see exactly what happened.
You mentioned all preseason you were going to play the extended rotation and keep some guys' minutes down. I think it was 11 tonight. LeBron and AD played limited. How does that impact what you're trying to get to on the floor with rotations, and how is that going to play out for the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll continue to evaluate game to game. It's not ideal, but I do feel it's necessary. Both to manage guys' minutes the right way and lengthen their rotations throughout the game. Getting through this stretch healthy is a priority, and and evaluating how our new guys fit is a priority. Which we have had a normal amount of time to evaluate. So we'll continue to look at that. I'm sure we'll look at different lineups along the way. But the five guys on the floor got to be better than we were tonight.
Frank, could you speak to the little run that Paul George went on late in the third quarter that seemed to give the momentum back to the Clippers, and what your defense was or wasn't doing in that situation?
Yeah, a lot of it was on one-on-one coverage or off the screen where we weren't providing enough resistance, and we tried to bring more help as he was getting hot. But by then, most of the damage had been done. But he just had a terrific night. And like I said, a lot of it was in one-on-one situations, which we gotta do a better job of pushing up on and making sure that we're bringing appropriate help.
Bill?
Hey, Frank. How did you evaluate Marc Gasol's night? Obviously, got into that early foul trouble. What do you take away from just seeing him out there tonight?
Yeah, he's going to be fine. Obviously, being matched up with a three-point shooter, it was a challenge for all bigs. We have coverages in place that we weren't sharp enough covering for him. And, I'm disappointed myself. I didn't put the ball in his hands more at the top of the key like we did in the preseason to take advantage of his passing ability. So, part of learning new players and guys getting comfortable and acclimated. And the foul trouble limited themselves as well.
Kyle?
Hey, Frank, related to what Mike was asking earlier, you take out, I think LeBron didn't check in after the almost 8-minute mark, and then AD comes out with about 3.5 minutes left. And obviously it was a big lead, but not a huge lead. Are those decisions that you're going to be a little more conservative in making, given sort of the long-term goals and some of the early season health concerns you talked about with us, especially with those two guys?
Absolutely. We're going to be conservative with their minutes early on in the season, and we have the depth to do it. We didn't play well enough to win a game tonight, but we have the depth to manage our minutes intelligently early on in the season while we're trying to get our legs under us, and we'll continue to do so. And like I said, we have the depth for guys to fill in and still play winning basketball during those stretches.
Dan? Wilkie?
Hey, Frank. Can you take us back to pregame? We saw the look on your face when you saw your wife and your daughters up there. You pulled the mask down a little bit and flashed a huge smile. Did you know that was coming? And then I guess secondly, what was it like to have to turn all of that emotion off in 6 minutes? And how difficult was that?
Yeah, I didn't know that was coming. That was something I'll never forget. It was really a great moment. I love my family, my wife, Jim, my daughters, Alexa and Ariana, to show up, delivering that message in that moment was a surprise, and I certainly got a little choked up. In terms of the turnaround, I'm able to do it. And I think our guys were able to do it. We didn't play well in the first quarter, but I don't know if it was totally about the ring ceremony. And once it's over, you appreciate it. You know how special it is. But you move on. You move on quickly. You get into the game. Game comes quick, and you got to get focused. And I think our guys are. I'm sorry. I think our guys were, even though we didn't play very well, obviously, in the first quarter.
Jovan?
Hey, Frank, I wanted to know what you thought of Dennis and Trez tonight in their official debuts.
Those guys got to be big-time players for us this year. I was very encouraged with what both of them bring to the table. Trez is being that junkyard dog, rolling and rebounding and making plays in the paint and doing all the dirty work. And Dennis is a dynamic player. He almost had a triple-double in, 27 minutes, almost had a triple-double just with his ability to score, with his ability to get in the paint. And then defensively, he's really, really strong as well. So he's a winning player. Both of them are winning players. And they're going to be big contributors for us this year.
Rashawn?
Hey, Coach. With Dennis, you kind of kept him in there early with the second unit as well. Is he someone who could be impacted the most by LeBron and AD's minutes being a little bit more conservative on your part?
Yeah, well, I think Dennis and Trez and some of our young guys like Booz, KCP, Alex, we saw talent in there. I think some of the younger guys can really carry a bigger load minutes wise. While AD and Ron are getting their legs under them, and you get guys like Keith and Wes and Mark. They're dealing with a short off season too, or a short preseason, I should say. So, it's going to be a balancing act and continue to evaluate it day to day, game to game. But Dennis, I think definitely is one of those guys that's going to carry a heavy load over.
Last two questions. Michael Duarte?
Yeah, Frank, you guys hung your hat on defense last season. Probably not the effort you wanted tonight. Is part of acclimating the new players and getting them comfortable, is it more difficult on defense than it is, say, on offense for the new guys and the new pieces to the team?
It's a little of both. I think it's balanced on both ends. I don't think one's harder than the other. Credit the Clippers. They shot the lights out. They really hurt us in one-on-one situation. Which typically we'll be good at, or we'll live with. You know what I mean? If their ball movement isn't there and they're playing one-on-one and scoring against good defense one-on-one, we'll live with that. We'll be better in those situations. But in terms of acclimating those guys on one side or the other of the ball, offense or defense, I think both take time.
Last question, David.
Hey, Coach, Darde here from Gazzetta. You said the other day that start of the season will be tough for you guys. Is this the type of games you expect when you say that?
Well, I think we're going to have these on occasion. Hopefully not too often. But, there's certainly going to be a few ugly nights. That's part of the nature of what our team's going through in terms of the championship, short off season, short preseason. We're making sure that we're not going to feel sorry for ourselves, but we can't get too high, can't get too low. When we have a night like this, we go to the tape next day, we learn from it, and we get better, and hopefully have a different result on the next game on Friday, Christmas.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you, guys.